Okay. Hey, Wendy.
Hey, Mike.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Okay, let me get started, guys. Hold on one second. Um, okay, here we are. All right. I had a little technical difficulty, so you guys will have to forgive me for those. I think Chris was yelling at me saying that I was muted, and I knew I was muted because I didn't want to be unmuted by I was doing that. So, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Guys, I put this quote on from Warren Buffett because I thought it was awesome. I saw it the other day and I thought, man, this is awesome. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you work until you die. And I have to tell you that was my mentality for the longest time. Tonight on the call, I'm going to introduce some stuff to you that was talked about on our elite distributor call today. I went back and took some notes, but I had to do it very quickly, so forgive me if there's some spelling and some typing errors. I had to take it from some notes, and a lot of you know that I've taken a coaching job, which has been my lifetime dream of coaching, rebuilding a program at the high school level, and I've started that, and it's kind of deep and heavy, and of course we have a lot of new enrollments in our business that some new personals and some stuff, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited for all of you to hear this information tonight, and I just want to go over a couple of things that Darren went over, and then I'm going to play a short little 5-minute talk from Brandon Cunningham that you guys will not be able to see because only we can see it, and I want you guys to see it. But I just want to tell you about some things that can ease your mind, and if you're on here tonight, you're a leader and you need to hear this. Darren said that we have now released our 10K and our 10Q numbers. And it was kind of funny. He said during this process that they had to be quiet. And he said one of the hardest things when you're in corporate America is being quiet. And to ease your mind, it was a self-audit. The company did it themselves, just like when we did a recall many, many years ago. The K is the year-end filing. He mentioned that we were already into 2017, which goes from July to June, okay? They are now compliant with all the regulatory boards, including the NASDAQ, the Russell 3000, and everyone that goes with us being publicly traded. So some of the questions that were asked to me is why did we have a review? And Darren said they were raised by some of the corporate people, raised concerned. If you haven't muted yet, please mute, because some of you haven't muted and I'm hearing some feedback. Let me see who hasn't muted. Sorry, guys. I can just hear some people. Okay, thank you for doing that. Please mute if you can. Okay. The review was looked at independently, which was not done by LifeVantage. They brought in some very high-tech people to look. And I love what Darren said about this. He said most companies would have overlooked this. They would have took the blind eye. And that's why a lot of the things I like about being involved in a publicly traded company is the honesty and the transparency. He said there was no impact on the financials released. He said there was some changes that needed to be done to the policies. And he broke them up into 3 little categories. And I'm just going to summarize what he said so that you guys can understand this. He said one of the issues was somebody, for instance, buying product. For instance, I'll use Lisa because I'm looking at her on the little screen over here. Buys product in Canada. Okay. What are the ramifications of that? Buying something, or somebody in Canada coming across the border to purchase products cheaper or to purchase products that are not in Canada. What are the tax ramifications of that? That was some of the things that they worked on. They also needed to change some of the policies and procedures, and the first one was done in Mexico. So they've changed that, and they're going to be announcing some of that here in the next couple of days. I love what Darren said. You know, he said in his 25 years of working in the network marketing industry, LifeVantage has the best people that he's ever worked with. And I'm going to share a couple things later here on about what was said by some of the other Pro 10s about that situation. He said, Canada is on fire, okay? I'm so happy about that. You're going to hear Brandon talk about that in the little bleep that I'm going to play here in a minute. But and he said Australia is growing very, very fast. He said he wanted to remind us that the enhancements to the compensation plan start in January, okay? The first week in January for Pro 2s and Pro 5s. And he also said that in Canada, very shortly, within the next, I want to say he said 3 to 4 weeks, the enhancements that we have had already with the bonuses here in the United States are going to be implemented in Canada, which I know will be phenomenal. I know it's going to be phenomenal for me, but it'll be phenomenal for a lot of you. And his last thing that he talked about is he said 2017 is going to be a year to strengthen the existing markets that we have. And, even though we want Pro Tandem in every market, this will be a year for us to work on the existing markets. So let me move on to this next slide. He had several people talk, but I wanted to share just a couple things that really were close to Lisa and I in my heart. He said, look, and he said, we need to finish this year preparing for the new year. I can tell you that last year I worked hard up until the 31st, and I was listening on the Elite call today. 27 Elite distributors were enrolled in December when they enrolled. Think about that. 27 Elite distributors were enrolled in December. So 2 of Lisa and I's very good friends, Mark and Krista Harris, reached Pro 8. There was 5 new Pro 8. Sherry Hollenbeck, 27-year-old girl living out in Wyoming. Fannie Mae. I remember when I first met Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae said to me, Michael, if we can build this business, anybody can build this business. And those of you that know that the Amish, they're kind of handicapped like us. They don't have a lot of the amenities that we have. And you know what I said to her? I said, it should drive people to know that quitting isn't an option. And she said, Michael, quitting was never an option for us. And stuff like that excites me. Also, the Pro 9 and 10 Tour. If you haven't registered yet, please register tonight or register over the weekend, next couple days. Go to Big Blue Calendar. They're going to be January the 9th and 10th. I've seen some of the things posted. They're all over the internet and on Big Blue Calendar. There's a huge announcement tomorrow. Some of you are going to be working. They're going to go into a little bit more detail, but I'm going to go over some of it tonight. There's going to be a $5,000, 10 people will receive $5,000. So $50,000 per cash prize will go out. This will be announced more on the call with more details tomorrow. Starts today and goes till the end of the year. You receive 4 points for a platinum, 2 points for a gold, and 1 point for a silver. Everybody on your team should know this. How many of you would like an extra $5,000 for the holidays, plus all the money you make for your enrollments? I mentioned that a lot of elite distributors were enrolled in December. Huge tax breaks. New people can hit the ground running. As I said for you, last year was I worked the hardest I'd ever worked in December, and I enrolled 6 people. I enrolled 3 people in December and 6 people in January. I believe it's because of the work that I did in December. Also, the physique challenge is going on. It's starting in January. $25,000 male prize winner and $25,000 female prize winner. If you haven't signed up, go to lifevantage.com and click on physique. There's a lot of different ways that you can gain points for that. I suggest that you do that today. And then I really love Skip. Lisa and several of us got to hear Skip speak at the GoPro event. You guys can see I got my hat on today. He said LifeVantage, he mentioned a couple things he learned. They made Pro 10 in December, but he said he learned that being around all these multi-million-dollar earners, he said he met one of the largest earners in the network marketing industry history, and this guy's name is Jeff Roberti. I've met Jeff several times, lives in Sarasota. He said, is LifeVantage really what everybody says it is? Because remember, a lot of these guys that are in companies that they used to make $250,000 a month, and now they're making $80,000 or $90,000, and it's we are jeopardizing a lot of companies because of what we have. And that's Skip mentioned that. And he said one thing that really touched him was that all of the other network marketing gurus said that no one in their companies are on the same page. They don't even talk to the leaders, other leaders in the company, unless they shake hands with them at a major event. Guys, our Pro 10s are all on the same page. He said none of the people that he met had one training system like we have with LifeVantage Academy. So, guys, you are not only in the company with the best products in the history of this industry, but you have the best leaders and you have the best opportunity because of those things. So I want to show you guys just a real quick 5-minute clip because I want you guys to see this. This is our fearless leader, Brandon Cunningham. Hold on, let me get this queued up for you guys because I want you guys to see this. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. Here we go. Chris, when I cue this up, let me know that you can see this, okay? And you can hear it, okay?
Okay.
Can you see Justin Rose?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Most impressed when I hear and we get a chance to visit a little bit, it's just how busy and how involved and engaged you remain through the season of that some people kind of take a little time off of. And I was hoping that you could just tell us a little bit.
Lost sound.
Engaged.
Well, I don't know, Justin. Distributors, we're not normal people. Not just the Pro 10s, distributors. We do the opposite of what is normal. And that's why we get to live the opposite life that normal people live. That's why we do this. But thanks for the opportunity to have me share a little bit. Trish, that was awesome. I didn't know that story into detail, so glad you got to share that. And I just want to start quickly by letting the elite distributors know first how much we talk about you guys on a regular basis. Being Pro 10s and the corporate staff, we are constantly considering your thoughts. Your input is critical for the future of this company. And so please reach out to your prospective Pro 10s or the people that you communicate with the most or whoever it is that you have connections with. And believe me, your voice will be heard. The corporate staff that we have, Justin and his staff, are very sensitive, very, very sensitive to what's important to the field. And every once in a while, Darren talked very openly just now. I'll talk very openly. Every once in a while, I hear elite distributors say they feel like they're not being heard. Well, I can tell you this, you need to keep squeaking because you need to talk to some people about more of your concerns, because when your concerns come to the table, we don't just talk about the concern. The corporate staff even says the name specifically. And so we want to hear from you. You guys are a big part of what we do. And I just appreciate having you guys as part of the team. Darren said it correctly. We are a unique group, but we created this culture, didn't we? Like some other birds of a different feather have flown into our nest, and they just don't like us, and that's good because we don't like them. We've created this culture. It's going to be our culture, and for the new people, the new Pro 7s, the new elites, we're so early in this that we get to not only shape this culture in our states, our country, we get to shape this culture globally, guys, globally. And so this will be a legacy type company. But Justin, let's get to what you asked me to talk about. Yeah, it's been, let's just say this. I'm an A-lister with Southwest with the companion pass. And when I jump on Delta, like when I came back from Mexico, they upgraded me to first class without asking, right? That's just what happens when, you walk into the airport and the security staff and the gate agents are like, "Hey, Brad, how's it going?" And you're like, "Hey, how's it going? Where are you sleeping tonight?" That's kind of how it is. November, I was in Canada twice in November. I don't know. The last week I was in 3 different countries in the last week. Trish talked about Thanksgiving. I spent my 24th wedding anniversary by myself. Well, without my wife, in Canada with a bunch of amazing distributors in the Toronto area. And Canada is on fire. So Canada, high five. And the rest of you American distributors, you might want to peek into Canada a little bit and see what's going on up there because they're moving. So yeah, I spent my 24th wedding anniversary in Canada. And so, fortunately, I have a wife that is flexible and understands the timing of things right now. So the point is, guys, that, I heard something from stage once that I've never forgotten. If you were a college football player and your birthday fell on a Saturday, you probably wouldn't call the coach and say, "Hey, coach, yeah, it's my birthday, man. Just let someone else take my place today." Or if you're a professional athlete, you go, "Hey, it's my anniversary. It's Mother's Day." So what? You are professional network marketers, and newsflash, that's 365, guys, 24/7 when you are a professional network marketer. And that's not a bad thing. Because right now I'm in my home office and you're probably in your home office. As a professional network marketer, we get to live a different life, but it's because we are willing to do things that other people are not willing to do, like work through what other people consider the time off. I mean, guys, you guys know it's so awesome to let all the rush hour traffic go and let all the mess go, and then you go to the bank when there's no lines, or the cleaners or the doctors, because of us working through a time when other people think it's silly. And so you absolutely create momentum. Trish hit it on the head. If you're just now thinking about working through the holidays, you better really ramp it up, because the Pro 10s have been working hard since Halloween. And so, as I just told you about November, last night I presented with a world famous cardiologist. It was really awesome. It's so powerful, guys, to see the people that are joining our company and the energy they have. And sometimes you have to reel in what they say because they're not so sure what they can and can't say as a network marketer, especially physicians. But I heard some powerful language last night that just, whether they can say it or not, it's exciting when they say it because they're just speaking from their heart and the truth. And so that was last night, driving home, doing the phone calls, and it's nonstop. And so what I would tell you guys is this. Just remember how excited you were when you first started with LifeVantage, because it didn't matter what day of the week it is. Guys, opportunity doesn't care it's the holidays. Opportunity doesn't care it's Sunday afternoon. Opportunity doesn't care. The clock is ticking for all of us, and it's getting more exciting by the minute. And I told some people this morning. Imagine if Mark Zuckerberg came to you with the idea of Facebook 10 years ago, but with what you know about Facebook today. How would you treat the next 2 weeks? Would you say, "Hey, Mark, man, it looks like it's going to be a big deal," or "Hey, Mark, I know it's going to be a big deal, but it's Christmas. I mean, come on, everybody's going to be busy." Or would you be just blinders on and just doing everything you can to take advantage because you know there's a window? There is a window at LifeVantage, and some of you, even myself I have to remind myself, because I wasn't here at the very beginning. I was here about 6 months after it started. I have to remind myself that there is a window. And guys, there is absolutely a window, and the new corporate staff that joined us a year ago, the window's been a little rusty and not cooperating for the last few years, but the new corporate staff, like, they're putting oil in the tracks, and the window's about to slam. It's about to cut loose. They're giving us everything we need, and I can see the writing on the wall. I won't let the cat out of the bag till tomorrow, but I got goosebumps on Tuesday when Peter was introduced to us. I'm telling you guys, I was personally introduced to Dr. McCord 6 years ago in a small room. And I knew then, even though I thought network marketing is crazy, I don't know what I'm doing here, I thought, that guy sounds like a genius, and I'm in a room with him, and not many people know about this. And I got that feeling again Tuesday. We have got a person, no one's ever going to fill the shoes of Joe McCord. But man, I'm telling you, it's nice when you can get some validation and some backbone from some big-time players, and Peter's a player. He is a big-time player. He's here. I'm excited for you guys to know more about him. And yeah, Justin, I mean.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hopefully everybody got as much out of that as I did. So just, Chris, am I good? You can hear me still?
Yes.
Okay, good. So here's how I'm going to finish, guys. You guys, that went on a little bit longer after that with some other people, with Skip Campbell and some other Pro 10s and Trisha Albrechtsen, you heard. Dr. Peter, you pronounce it Vertigum, is our new Vice President of International Europe. The guy has PhDs. I mean, they listed all these lists of things. They said, Brandon kind of said jokingly in the previous thing that he had a brain like Dr. McCord, and that's why he talked it. The guy is a genius. He was the general manager for the largest network marketing company in the world. He could have chosen any company he wanted, and he chose LifeVantage. Some of you will be working tomorrow. This will be recorded. If you can listen when it's live, they said it would be recorded. Sometimes, they say that and it doesn't. But you guys can see the times tomorrow. Basically 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 Central, and 10 a.m. and 9 a.m. Okay, so hopefully you guys will be able to listen. I'm excited. I heard them talk a lot about what's going on. They're going to announce some new things that are going to go on in January and what's going to continue to happen for the rest of December. Guys, I'm excited. I'm excited to finish this year off. I've been doing launch calls. If you have not scheduled a 3 launch calls in a row, you're missing the boat. If you want to be that person that Brandon talked about, that 10%er, then you're going to be scheduling these launch calls. Guys, I did a training 2 weeks ago with 3 Pro 9s, teaching them how to do launch calls. And then 2 days later, 2 Pro 8s. Okay? This is catching. It's not, as Brandon said, if you guys watched the end of Brandon's webinar last night with Dr. Maniscalco, he said launch calls are not going anywhere. You need to learn to do them. And when you enroll somebody, get that person on a launch call before their package even arrives. Okay? I'm doing one tomorrow for a girl who has a PhD in biochemistry, who got it like that. She's a 10%er. There's hundreds and thousands of those out there. It's our duty to go find them. Okay? Never give up. Remember, the fortune's in the follow-up. Guys, thanks for being on the call tonight. Hope it was beneficial for you all. I love you guys. I will see you next Thursday. If I don't get a chance to talk to you, Merry Christmas. See you guys next Thursday. Thanks for being on.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.